So for the past 2 days, ever since I made these amazing corn tortilla egg cups, I've just had such an easy time just picking up some breakfast, even a nice lunch, and using these cups because they're just so versatile, so convenient, and all you have to do is pop it in the microwave and an amazing concoction, a little package of health and food and deliciousness is ready within seconds. And I'm excited to show this to you. I'm using corn tortillas for this. You can use flour tortilla. You'll have a completely different experience with flour tortilla, by the way, than the corn. But let's take a look at the rest of the ingredients first. Now, I'm going to be making a bunch of different types of these egg cups, and you can really just pick and choose, go wild, and maybe don't even use anything that I'm showing and use something else that you can think of. But essentially, for the vegetarians out there, I have some peppers, some green onions, some chives. There's eggs, of course, for these egg cups. Hash browns, which I've already baked in the oven. It's sad that you have to like break it and put it in these egg cups because they're just so good whole, but it's gonna be worth it. Trust me. There's also going to be some cheese, and I'm using a Mexican blend of cheese. And for those of you who like some meat with their eggs, I got some Italian sausage which I've cooked up, broken down, and some bacon. Now here are the corn tortillas. Now the thing with corn tortillas is they're not as pliable as regular flour tortillas. But that essentially is where the disadvantages of corn tortilla ends. Because they are much lighter, they're lower in fats, they have much more nutrients, they have a more traditional Mexican flavor, and with these eggs after they're done baking, it just tastes so nice and cohesive. And if you're looking for something that's quick, healthy, grab and go, then they're low in calories too, fiber is high, you have nothing really to lose. What you're gonna get with flour tortillas and how the texture is going to be different, I'll show you in a little bit. But let's start preparing the eggs first. Now I have about 8 eggs in here, but I end up using 10 because I wasn't exactly sure, given my muffin tray and how deep they are, with all the ingredients, if I'm going to need 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, I didn't know. So you may have to adjust the amount of eggs, but all the eggs have is some salt and pepper. You can put some milk in here if you like that with your eggs, or some sour cream. All of that really up to you. Now, since the corn tortillas are not as pliable, you want to make it softer, especially if you have it in the fridge or you keep it frozen, and just wrap it up with some damp kitchen towels or paper towels, and then microwave that for about 30 seconds, maybe 45 seconds, depending on how many you're making, so that they become more pliable. Now you want to spray your muffin tray with your olive oil or some cooking spray, whatever you prefer, and then start molding and fitting those corn tortillas in those muffin trays. Now you may get lucky and none of them may break, but most likely some of them may get some cracks, which is actually fine. It ended up looking just fine for me. Now I'm going to be starting to assemble the veg ideas for these egg cups first, starting with some cheese that's going to go right down the middle of those tortillas. Now the first one I'm thinking of making is just cheese and chive. So that's what I'm putting in here, some freshly chopped chives, cheese is already in there. And the second one I'm making is going to be some green onions, and yes, those crispy, tasty hash browns. I did snack a lot while prepping this, but let's get back to the point. Now for the next two, another veg option, I have some chopped green and red peppers, some onions. I'm also putting in some slices of jalapeno. You can really scatter it wherever you want, some jalapenos. In some of the cups with the peppers, some hash browns maybe, why not? And then the last 4 will be the ones with some meat. So I'm gonna start with some cheese, then those amazing hash browns, some bacon, which I'm going to just rip up and add in there. And the last 2 will also have some sausage. So that's the whole setup. We have about 6 different varieties of these cups, and while I appreciate you clicking on this link, that there are 6+ ways of making these tortilla egg cups, there actually are infinite number, because you can really think of whatever you want, whatever you like with your eggs, or just experiment and put it in here. Now it comes time for the egg. So just start pouring it, and you don't want to fill it up all the way up to the rim, but you want to get close to it, because as those eggs cook, they will rise a bit, and you don't want eggs overflowing. Now here's where the advantage of the flour tortilla comes in, because in case you did have some cracks while trying to fit those corn tortillas in here, which are not as pliable, remember? Well, then the eggs will kind of leak out. It will be a part of the fusion between the tortillas and the egg. Still gonna be as tasty, but what the flour tortillas will offer will be a nice, even, crispy tortilla crust, because most likely they won't tear because of the flour and the gluten, and it'll just give you a much different experience. So you can really use this exact recipe, switch up the tortillas, and just have a whole different set of breakfasts ready for a whole different experience. So try both. I know I'm gonna, once I finish these up, and I'll let you know later on which ones were better, but they're both gonna be super tasty. I can already taste it in my head. Now, in case you do run out of eggs while pouring it, it's as simple as whisking some more up, salt and pepper, and then adding it all in here. If you want, you can top the rest up with some more cheese, maybe some mozzarella, some cheddar, go crazy, and then place them in the oven, heated at 350 Fahrenheit, and it may take between 20 to maybe like 25 minutes. I was closer to 25 minutes by the time the eggs were completely set and they weren't runny in the middle. What I did to check though, because I don't want to like break it obviously, is just try to shake the pan and see if the center is set or not. And just like that, you have a whole tray full of breakfast. And this is just one tray. If you have multiple sections in your oven, if you have multiple ovens, you have a large family, it can just be like a fun thing to do where you just put what anybody wants, make these breakfasts in batches, or if you just have to prep your breakfast before you head to work, the gym, to school, it's gonna work out great, because it's just very easy once you've prepped all those little things like bacon and sausage and hash brown, chopped up your vegetables, and really just make it as simple as you want it to be. You don't have to go all out. These were totally worth trying for me. I've seen them around for some time, but I think the corn tortillas will still hold a much higher position for me than the flour ones, because the flavor, it just beats the flour ones out of the park. But I do want to have the crispiness of the flour tortilla, which I will be having soon. And you let me know down below which one of these combinations of toppings enticed you the most, or if there's something that I didn't do that you would have done instead. I want to hear all that down below, and I'll see you all on the next one.